Hey Spanish teachers, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about some easy low prep lesson ideas you can use for the last day of Spanish 1 or your novice level classes right before winter break begins. We'll dive into some fantastic activities that are easy to use to share about culture and holiday traditions right before break. Hi, my name is Ashley, aka Senorita Spanish, and if you're new here, I just want to make sure that you know that links to everything that I mentioned will be down in the description box below. So let's dig right into it. The day before break is usually pretty low motivation for everybody, like for the teachers and for the students. In my opinion, it's best to go something that's like really low energy, like low energy for you. It doesn't require you to be like la 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 la. And for them, it also should be, I think, something that's not a huge deal if half of your class misses it because they're already on the road on their way to grandma's house or, wherever they're going for their holiday plan. That doesn't really leave us with a ton of options, but I'm going to share a few with you in this video. So if you teach multiple preps, you could either use one of these activities for a bunch of your levels, or you can pick and choose between these activities for your different levels. And these are mostly suited for novice classes, so if you teach like 6th, 7th, and 8th grade Spanish, or if you teach Spanish 1 and Spanish 2, you could pull from these ideas and use them for your classes. There are a few that will work for your upper level classes too, so just make sure you stick around and I will share those with you. Now let's get into the options. These are designed to bring in some holiday cheer into your Spanish classes without always focusing on the religious aspect of some of the holiday and cultural traditions, because I know, especially depending on your setting, sometimes you might not be allowed to talk about religious traditions, and sometimes you just don't want to, right? You want to give them a wide variety of different cultural and holiday traditions to talk about, so I've done my best to kind of share a broad scope of options in this video. First up, we have a set of stations. You've actually heard me share about these stations before, or maybe you missed that video. I'll make sure to link it for you here so you can check it out if you want to see the full explanation and details of how you can use it as a lesson plan for your classes, but it actually works really well as the last day before break. Because I have that whole video, I'm just going to go really quickly through them. Here is a quick overview of the stations. First, we have a reading activity on a letter to the Three Kings, where the students read a letter that somebody, a child, has written to the Three Kings, and they do reading comprehension activities with it. And the next station, students write their own letter to the Reyes Magos asking for gifts. There are several variations on this. You can choose the scaffolding levels that you want to fit your students' needs, totally up to you. There's just a few more stations included. One is un video corto, which is, as you might expect, a short video related to the holidays. There's also a word search for some vocabulary fun, and a reading activity to explore La Nochevieja y las Uvas. Make sure you check out this video for more. Again, I will link everything that I mentioned in this video down in the description box below, so if you're looking for that and you can't find it, okay, next up on our last day before break lesson plan options is this snowman movie talk. If you missed my previous video with the download, make sure you check that out here. This video actually includes the lesson plan and the downloads, everything that you need to do this movie talk. And this is something that you could choose to do with your upper level classes just because movie talks can be so flexible, right? You can change up the language that you use with your students easily. This is something you could do if you teach Spanish 1 or if you teach Spanish 4. So like everything else, I'll make sure to put it down in the description box below so you can grab the freebies that are already made with this cute movie talk for you. Next up is this winter roll-a story. All you need are copies and some dice and you're good to go. Basically, the way a roll-a story works is your students are going to roll a die and that will tell them some of the different elements of their story. When they have those different elements decided, then they're going to use their creativity and some imagination to fill in the rest of the story itself. This is also something that you could use for upper levels. With lower levels, depending on how their language skills are, it might be too much output for them at this point in the year. So, just check it out. There is some scaffolding and some support pages that I have built in for you so that you could use it as a sub-plan for all of your levels, but you can pick and choose. This is just one option that I wanted to highlight as an upper level possibility, because the majority of this video is for your novice classes. Next up is this reading on Navidad, Nochebuena y Dia de los Reyes Magos. This is also a great sub-plan option if you have a non-Spanish speaking sub, and you could use it at any point in time in December, really, or even right after you come back from break because of Dia de los Reyes Magos and where that falls on the calendar. But definitely a good option if you are going to be gone before break and you need a sub-activity. Next up I have to share with you is this virtual field trip lesson plan, and I actually already have a video where I go into this one in depth, and you've probably heard me talk about virtual field trips before, so I'm not going to go too far into it. But this virtual field trip is for holidays around the world. So a lot of the other activities that I talked about, I really focused on Spain and cultural traditions in Spain. This virtual field trip talks about several different countries, different foods, different practices, that kind of thing. So this is a good option if you're looking to share culture from around the globe with your classes. Like I mentioned before, you can check out the video on that lesson plan down in the description box below. Okay, next up is this Nochevieja y las Uvas lesson plan. I actually have a full video coming where I walk you through exactly what I like to do for this lesson, so if you haven't yet, make sure you click that subscribe button so you don't miss this video when it comes out in the next few weeks. But La Nochevieja y las Uvas are so fun to read about, and they aren't religious, so if you are somebody who is in a school setting where you're not allowed to talk about it, or it makes you really uncomfortable to share about any sort of religious activity at all with your students, this is a great option for you. And I have always loved that when I share about this activity with my students, I always get at least one student who comes back after break and they're like, I talked about this with my family and we grabbed some grapes and we did it on New Year's Eve. And I just love that they're taking it home to their own families and sharing about what they've learned in Spanish class. So that's super fun. Again, full video with tutorial and lesson plan coming up soon. I hope these resources add a touch of holiday magic to your classes and make the last day before break unforgettable and a little less stressful for you. If you found this video helpful, consider clicking subscribe and ringing that bell so you get notified of all new content I create for you in the future. Oh, and if you found this video but you need help planning for the first day back from break, make sure you check out my video here for you. I will make sure to link it so you can check it out. So that way you're going to have your last day before break planned thanks to this video and the first day, or 3 or 4 planned for after break thanks to this one. Got it? All right, I'll see you in the next one.